Hey everybody, Zeta here. I have no idea where this reading is going to go. There's a lot going on at 2 and 3 a.m. this morning, lots of downloads. I've been meditating with Virgo, so I thought it was going to be a Virgo new moon reading. And when I tuned into the Virgo energy, it took me way out, right at the fractal. So there's something about a much bigger picture here. And I have a question about what energies are coming in, because it is feeling like the tightening of the square, the increasing of frustration, a much tighter energy. Yeah. So it's just going to be a melange of lots of retrograde action, a new moon coming up, and the dark forces. Okay, because there's some crappy energy around. And so I'm going to 3 decks, which I hardly ever use. So the first one is side cards. The book doesn't match the box, so it looks like that. These lovely cards. I've had these decks more than a decade, easily. And there's 3 decks within this deck, so you get zodiac, only 12 signs, but house cards, planet cards. And I've drawn one from each pile. And I'm also going to use these bad boys. I think I'm going to use those, and so that's the Toth Tarot. I'm going to start with the astrology deck. I had a look at the astrology. I've had a look at the 13 sign astrological chart, and it's a cluster. I'm not even going to go near it. But there is some difficult energy coming in. And so the first zodiac sign out is Taurus. And we currently have yeah, that's the tightening. So Uranus is stationing today in Taurus. So that's this intensification. And the words on this card don't match the energy. What I'm feeling into with this card is like, interesting. How do I explain that? It's like the layers between snow that cause a slip and an avalanche. So the snow underneath is resting and peaceful, and then there's this layer of something that makes the whole structure unstable, and something comes sliding down. It's that energy. It's stuck and resting, and it's building for something. Now, the other day, I talked into what the hell is coming through the Galactic Center. So if we're talking Sag, we're talking Ophiuchus. Maybe this is just an Ophiuchus reading. Yeah, that would make sense. The 9th house is the house of Sagittarius. It's the house of higher wisdom. You know what the 9th house, you know what Sag is. So this is taking me straight into it. Now we have Pluto retrograde in Capricorn, and in sidereal that would be in Sag, which makes perfect sense. Again, I'm not going to talk into the card because this doesn't match the energy that I'm feeling into. So I'm just staying true to that. And then the planet cards. Okay, Pluto. All right. So we've still got Uranus in Taurus, North Node, still in the 18-degree, horrible energy. Right, so they're those three. Taurus, the 9th house, and Pluto. Let's put those away. And I have 4 cards from the side card deck. The first card out is the Sun. And I didn't get Leo with this. Actually, I got Virgo. The planting. Pluto. So this would be the Tower card. Oh God, it's even coming in on the 18. Look. Wow, kings and castles, peasants, lack, want. And this is really speaking into, actually, these 2 cards are really speaking into one of these small, there was so much that came through for me this morning that I only managed to remember a bit of it because I just didn't want to get up and start writing at 2 and 3 in the morning. But this is speaking straight into one of the notes that came in this morning. Finish the cards, Chrissy. I'm just going to go all over the place. So we've got home. Obviously, we've got Taurus on the table, which is the home. And we've got the sun and destruction. And it might be asking a question about it's something about where are we at home and what do we trust in that? Are we at home because, it's coming straight back to that note, are we at home because we're in some kind of contract? Are we feeling at home because we're entangled in some kind of 8th house contract? Or are we feeling at home for something else? Okay. Because the underlying card the underlying cards, okay, liberation, and this card came out in another deck. Wow, look at this. So horse is a symbol of freedom. We have the opening of a door and the raising of the gate. 38, and isn't today an 8? 38. I think today is 38/11/2. Bear with me. 24/8. Is, yeah, 32. 32/5 and 6 is 38/11/2. Building the ashram. Right, okay. Today's a significant day. I can't with this energy, it's all over the place. I need to bring it to ground. Right, underlying cards. Liberation, so we're cutting the ties. Okay, crossing the bridge. Underlying card, yes, coming in on that too. Goodness sake, the Tower. Destruction of the illusion of what brings us home, of what home is, and destruction of the illusion of friendship. Here's the key to it. What I was having a conversation with about this morning, guys, was how do we give and how do we get? Do we give to get and do we get to give? And in that came the words, is it a contract or is it an adventure? Contract or adventure? So if we're talking 8th house, and this feels very sex, death, and taxes, entanglements, commitments and obligations, and they're kind of hidden. So when we give, are we in the old entangled contract of an expectation that we're going to get something, this entitlement contract? Do we want something in return? Because that can be a very manipulative energy. And when we receive, this I think will be the testing one, because it's slightly harder to see. What is our relationship with receiving? We've talked about this ad nauseum, but in this context, it makes such sense. When we receive, do we fully and somatically and viscerally and emotionally receive in every cell of our body? Period. Or does part of our psyche go to, what can I give in return for this? How can I pay this forward? Can we just receive? When we give, do we give with a pair of scissors and cut the entanglement? Here you are, have it. Oh, what do you want? Just have it. And on the receiving end of that, how do we receive that? Do we feel obligated in some way to give something in return to create fair exchange? Because there's the illusion. It can be the illusion of friendship. That can be the illusion of kindness. Right. Okay, I'm stitching together lots of little tapestries. Right, so before this came in, I was with a verse from Find Yourself by Katie Tunstall. Katie Tunstall. Katie Tunstall. So I'll say it again. So find yourself, and I think it's the last verse, and it says, there isn't much more I can say. I don't understand the delay. You're asking for friendly advice and remaining in permanent crisis. Affection is yours if you ask, but first you must take off your mask. Okay. So there's give to get in there. There is the mask, the illusion that we're giving unconditionally, without wanting anything. There's the illusion that we're receiving unconditionally, and we very rarely do. So the question today, I think that might be the name of the video actually, contract or adventure. And that contract or adventure might be a really useful sentence to clean up what's being kicked up now. So am I entering into a contract with you? This might be a useful question. Am I entering into a contract with you where there's going to be an entanglement of expectation and entitlement, leading to resentment? Or does this feel like an adventure? Because another thing that came out this morning is it isn't about us learning to be human. Maybe it's about us learning to be animal, because we have animal instincts. We just tidy them up. We have opposing thumbs and a frontal lobe. We are self-aware animals, but where's the animal gone to? And this speaks straight into the sacral and the base. Survival and instinct. Instinct moves like it's mercurial. It moves as fast as Mercury. Instinct doesn't get lost in the ego of what is this and it just moves. Okay. I'm gonna go. You see, it's changing moment to moment. It's a very fast energy. It's all over it's in chaos. This is It's chaos. It feels like chaos. It might not look like it, but it feels like chaos. What am I trying to say? Because the most succinct thing to have said is contract or adventure, and this feels blah. What am I trying to say? What needs to come through here? Yeah. I will do a new moon reading. I think it's going to be quite significant. Wow. Okay. My throat's activating with this. So what I'm getting is that again? Missed opportunities and unspoken desires. The herald of change. The trumpets of Gabriel. That's throat chakra. Where's Mercury? Bear with me. Let me just have a look, see where Mercury is. Mercury's in Virgo. Happy birthday, Virgo. We've just gone into Virgo season. Mercury is in Virgo. That's why it feels so fast. Okay, did I show you this? No. So we have the moon. And check this. But I think this symbol here is called the Aleph, Aleph. And my understanding of the Aleph is a collapsing of all timelines. It's when it would look like when you meet somebody and you know them from several different lifetimes. In that moment, everything collapses in that moment, and it's like you can see a flash of every single lifetime that you spent with this spirit, this energy, this soul. Aleph, the collapsing. Mm. I actually get flood with this. It's like a real rising up of the water. But it's also activating the higher heart. Let's carry on. It says it all. There's so much in here. I can see Leo, Sirius, Ophiuchus. It's 20, the world or the wheel of fortune. Neither. Not in this deck. It's the angel or the last judgment. Wow, I'm going to read this to you. This is really interesting. Okay. The Aeon, or the angel or last judgment. Fire and spirit. What? Strange language. Okay. So this card is talking into unlimited possibilities. I wonder if that's like, I can't with this speed. It's like the collapsing of everything and the harnessing of what we want to take forward. It is the building. This is the building. So, Star Goddess surrounds the globe of fire. Her mate. So the fire energy stands for eternal energy. In the middle sits their child, Horus. Ah, that's better. Horus, also a solar deity, who is the incarnation of the new Aeon, the left hand extended and empty, receiving. Reminds us that the God has destroyed the old universe, but is as yet too young to form its successor. At the bottom of the card appears the Hebrew letter Shin. That is attributed to this card. The three yods are occupied bear with me. Three beings, bear with me. The three yods are occupied by three human figures arising to partake the essence of the new Aeon. So this is sounding like the judgment card. It's the raising up of the dead, the raising of the dead. It's the resurrection. What am I saying here? Wow. So, final decision in respect of the past, new current in respect of the future, always represents the taking of a definite step. I'm ever so inelegant today. I'm really aware of that. Okay. And for the second time, out comes the sun. So it's like we literally have destruction in the tower back to back with the sun and the birthing of a new aeon. It's not going to happen in a day. Coming into retrograde season. So this is the undoing. Okay, the rest of the year, this energy is going to ramp because it has to kick the dust up, create the chaos to instigate change. So looking for order, this is the home. This is the question about the home. And what we come home to might not feel like home for a while. It might feel quite alien. It might feel quite destructive. So we have the sun, and look, all we will be left with is instinct and intuition because the structure is coming down. The conformity, the convention, the adapted behavior, the soul contracts, the entangled, corrupt, dirty contracts that are a lie. Oof. So in this tower and destruction energy, it might look a bit dark, as in, who turned the lights off? This time last week, I knew my path forward. I knew my goals and what I was determined to achieve, blah, blah, blah. And now I don't. The lights have gone off. So it might be walking blind for a little bit, because I've been checking the Sag readings and they're horrible. I don't know what, because I'm struggling to talk today. If we just go, because I think Sag sits at 27 degrees of galactic center. So if we're talking Sag, then we're talking Scorpio, Ophiuchus, Sagittarius, or sitting neatly in the vastness of the galactic center. And Sag has been having such a hard time. I don't know if the other fire signs have. I don't know if Scorpio has, because I don't do zodiac readings anymore. But if we just point towards Ophiuchus, the energy that's coming through is just a dream killer. It feels like a dream killer. It's very difficult to navigate. And it's really testing the faith of that little cluster of energy there. Oof. But look at this. Okay, so we have the Emperor and the Empress. It's the highest expression of masculinity and the highest expression of femininity coming in on the Judgment card. And that's holy fog. That's let go of everything. Just let go of everything. It's done. I feel so nervous and excited in my throat. I feel the relief of excitement and the nervousness of honestly, look at how big this is. This is just all major arcana coming straight off the bottom. Right, okay. And they've been shuffled. This is a big day. Should we pull it down and see if we can make any sense of this? Yeah, definitely. Okay. Is anybody getting any sleep? Just want to know it's not just me. Oh, for goodness sake. It's an Ophiuchus reading. This is Galactic Center reading. It's fucking huge. Okay, so remember the last reading. I missed the cue, Ophiuchus. I missed that a couple of days ago. That Ophiuchus card has been hiding in the animal deck, no, in another deck for months. Just bear with my waffling. I'm trying to pull it all in this. There's so much. I'm going to ponder, but you ponder too. Across the time and space. What are we bonded to? So I've got Virgo coming in now, asking how we plant. How do we plant our seeds? Do we plant our seeds into clean ground? The adventure? Or do we plant our seeds into contracted ground? I am doing this for that. I swear the whole astrological wheel is just going to merge. It's just going to merge. Okay, so Kundalini rising. Shedding a skin, healing. Now, in the last reading, we had the wild woman, didn't we? This is her complementing energy. And it's coming in on today's 32.5. 24th of August, that's up to 32.5. The luminous warrior. There's a lot of, it feels like there's a lot of instinctual behavior coming in to act without thinking and to clean the foundation of, am I in an entangled contract with this, or am I just having an adventure in the dark, the outcome of which I'm not attached to and I cannot see? The part of us that's been dancing in the shadows, barely seen, becoming visible. It's weird, this card looks like it's moving. So this card is talking about revelation and the clearing of the mist. Something, again, it's moon energy, isn't it? It's something coming into sharper contrast. Mm. Okay. Mm. something's been on my mind for a couple of days, and it was when I said Uranus coming through as the trickster. Because there's a question here about Uranus as a bolt of lightning, and what do we associate that with? What's our expectation in that? Much needed change, or destruction, or a revelation so powerful it breaks our spirit? It's so painful. But a revelation that's designed to trigger the trickster within us. And Coyote is the lie of I'm kind, but I expect something in return, and I can't actually receive without giving. We have to trigger the trickster so that we can call it, so that we can bring ourselves back from this hidden in the shadows dance that we've been doing. Nine, it's completion. I do not like this energy, I've got to say, today. It's too fast, it's ruthless, and it's brutal. That's how it feels. Okay, I'm going to pull this right down now. Let's do some, let's do some of those. Has anybody been getting ravenously hungry, like in 10 seconds? Like, I ate an hour ago and suddenly I'm really hungry. Or parched. Here it is. $32.5 again. It's change extremely sensitive. It could be painful. So it might be that in the macro, I don't do news, so please feel free to report below. Drop a comment in the description box. It could be that something happens in the world, a revelation, a big reveal. The truth will out. Wow. Now. Oh, God. Really? Now, if we're talking animal instinct, this is just my viewpoint. I'm not sure there is a more pure expression of tribe, family, and animal instinct than wolf, a pack of wolves. What was it called? Call of the Wild. I watched a film called Call of the Wild yesterday with Harrison Ford. There's loads of Call of the Wild films. I think it's on the Disney Channel. This is the one with Harrison Ford. It was made only a few years ago, and oh my God, it's amazing. So, are we learning to be human, or are we reharnessing our animal self? Look at the rainbows in those antlers. Wow. Just on fire. That's amazing. Leadership and self-managing leadership, not being led, not leading to look like a leader, not leading to gather followers, just leading without contract. It feels defiant, that energy. It feels defiant, wonderfully defiant. Mm. Now, you may not be in it, but there's an awful lot of standstill energy around at the moment. Stand still. And we might want to, that's coming in on 33. So we've got higher active intelligence coming in. So Earth Spirit, and I think we pulled the Earth card. Building the new foundation. We've had the 22 come out. Master Builder, building the new foundation. Yeah, a really strong urge to tell you to go to nature. Go to nature. Okay. I'm happy that none of this is making sense yet. I think this might just be the broad brush of what's coming in. And maybe over the next few weeks, these messages will get refined and refined and refined until we truly understand them. Because this just reflects the astrology. It's a shit show. At the moment, it's all happening at once. Question mark, a little bit too fast to gain the real understanding that we need to embed it and integrate it. So maybe use the stillness. Where? Okay. I'm going to pull a couple of surrender cards. So how can we best surrender to these energies with what we've got? How can we best surrender to these energies, please, with what we've got? What I'm getting is to move beyond a certain point. And what they're showing me is I'm looking down at my feet, and a certain point might literally just be 5 inches in front of me. So it's a stretch. Okay. So standing where I am might be the comfort spot, and to move just beyond that, because that's a movement. And then rinse and repeat to go just beyond it. Also baby steps, initiate steps. Some surrender cards, please. Can't make this up. So much. I tell you what I'm tapping into. I'm tapping into passion, anger, joy, defiance, nervousness, fear, rage, creation. It's like a primal force. It's a primal force. And now I want to howl like a wolf. It's a primal force. Stripped back, really stripped back. Ask yourself this today. What ignites my passion? Which pulls my eye straight to, and is it a contract or an adventure? Am I telling myself it's passion? Because in that display of passion, I can belong to that crowd. I can be accepted by this structure. Is it a contract or an adventure? Surrender to passion. It's a tiny thing, but I've been thinking recently, I'm just going to go and buy some ingredients and bake a cake. I won't eat it because I'm not a big cake eater, but I love making cake. Or I might bake some bread that I might not eat, just for the joy. Get out of your head and feel the fire in your belly. Mercury in Virgo. Now, let's talk into this. Mercury is fast, Virgo is perfection. Virgo is about getting it right by a series of small steps. It's tenacity, repetition. With Mercury in Virgo, it might be a bit fast. So I'm just mentally checking my Virgo placement in my natal chart, and yeah. Get out of your head and feel the fire in your belly, or conjure the fire in your belly. Do belly breathing. That activates the sacral and the dantian. That's the power station. Light that power station up. You can harness so much energy, you won't know what to do with it. Focus on the people or activities that ignite your passion and let it flow. Passion. I might suggest surrender to fear, because fear is just energy. Wow, look at this, is Mars. Look at this. That is Mars all day long. Where's Mars? Mars is in Gemini, isn't it? Yeah, Mars has just gone into Gemini. That's Mars. Or move one step beyond. So one step beyond, terrible song, would be harness fear. Harness it, because everything is energy. I was learning about the first law of thermodynamics yesterday, I know, which states energy cannot be created nor destroyed. It merely exists, which leans into when the universe was created, it was created with a finite amount of energy. That's what we know so far. That's what I know so far. I'm not a physicist. So how do we harness fear? Well, we talk to it. That's it. Talk to it. We acknowledge it. We meet it in the system. We find it in our body. And we take our awareness and we do somatic process with it. There is a lot of fear in the system at the moment because all the lights that used to be on and all the safely laid paving slabs are being torn asunder Let go of fearful stories you're telling yourself. Overwrite fearful stories by negotiating with that part of yourself. Lovingly, gently. Stay in the moment. Focus on solutions and celebrate every baby step forward. Every baby step forward. It's okay to walk in fear for a while. Because it might be an instinctual response triggering the fear. Trust that. Trust it. Might also be from the past. One is emotional. One is a feeling. Okay. Instinct is a feeling and knowing. Emotional is a feeling, but it's tied to an old story. They're very different. Okay. All right, let's have an abundance card. Look, this is what it is. I'm wildly confused by this. There's too much in here, way, way too much. And it is what it is. And so I have kicked the dust up and made a mess. And let's see what happens as it settles over the next few days or weeks. And it's certainly going to ramp. It's certainly going to ramp. That's gorgeous. That's what a lovely message. What a lovely message. True offering. So we're coming into the revelation of the absolute truth. True offering takes what can be an unbearable cross, what we are bonded to, and return it to love, meeting fear and dialoguing with it. Like it was a friend. What's the matter? Absolutely. Because this is one of the main fears that's coming out, and it's tying right into the money wound. 8th house, all the way home. The money wound. I was talking about the money wound with somebody the other day in the context of sex and the 8th house. And I said, I wonder how the balance of power might shift if every prostitute on the planet reinvented herself as a businesswoman. That would be different, wouldn't it? That's when I was working with money. Do you remember I did a video, didn't I, where I wanted to speak to money and it came through as gold champagne. It was beautiful. And it had lost its joy because it's been so corrupted and abused and raped and pillaged. So money wound is out and proud. Out and proud. Work with it, name it. Get in a hammock with it and swing. Okay, get intimate with it. Sometimes you learn true offering. Oh my God, they literally refer to one another. Sometimes you learn true offering through loss. You make a passionate invitation for love to take over and bring her own plan instead of the ego's. Wow, that's, yeah, I'm finishing there. Sometimes you learn true offering through loss. You make a passionate invitation for love to take over and bring her own plan. 33, higher divine order, instead of the ego. Right, let the tower fall. That's it. I'm going to get some food now. I feel quite confused. Thanks, guys, for being here. Welcome you subs again. It's lovely to have you here. Comment like crazy. I'll see you soon. Lots of love. Bye.